Welcome. Welcome to the Newsbeat show. Today, I am going to share with you a hypothesis. However, just in case you didn't know, I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not an investment advisor. I don't give stock picks. I don't give investment advice. I am a college dropout. Don't take anything I say seriously. I don't know what I'm talking about, man. I'm a nobody. I'm just here for your entertainment purposes only. And some would argue maybe I'm a nice guy because I'm trying to help you figure it out. But instead of just trying to help you figure it out, I am taking this journey with you and I am working together with you as a group. You know, every morning when I say, stick together, team, I am sticking together, team. That is exactly what I am doing. So here is my theory. Here is my theory, and then we will let you choose the names. All right, for just for argument's sake, we're going to only be doing long names here today. And we could try the theory on short names. I just don't want to extend it on both sides of the table and give mixed results. I want to just try this. And if you guys really like it and you say you want to try it on the short side, I'll do it tomorrow. You think, whatever. You know, we got time. All right, so long 2 minute breakout. Okay, so here's my theory. Gap up or gap up. Eh, trading above first 2 minute high. Next, first touch of the 8/21/55 EMA starts the process for slightly, not slightly, just front run the, and I'll put in quotes, green takes red. Okay. That's the process. Hold on. I just want to highlight something. This should only work one time unless you get a chart reset. So the first time you hit the 8 and no other time that you hit the 8 unless you get a chart reset. Fair enough? Are those rules fair enough? Those are my rules. Now, with that being said, there are a few of you in which I shared names with you for me to share, so I look intelligent tonight. And I command that everybody come out with at least one name that fits this. I mean, you don't have to, all you have to do is pick a name that gaps up. That's all you have to do. And I'll take it from there. So what do we got here? We got Riot. got Riot. Space. SGLB. Facebook. Boeing. Tesla. Home Depot. Vuzix. Didn't they report tonight? We already have Boeing on the list, Mark. We'll go over. I'll go over them. Yeah, that's okay. I'll go over them. And I might tweak it a little. More important that I want to be trading above the first 2 minute high, and I want the moving averages in order. Um, I should point out also ADMA on top. Okay, I'll just throw that in before I look at anyone's chart. Sundial, Triple D, XPEV. I think that's enough for now. Um, we'll do DraftKings and Tilray and Rocket, and that's it. Doesn't really matter if you give a name or not. I just have a group of your names. All right. So here I shared the rules. I'm gonna just tweak them a little because I do want the 8 trading as the highest point, the ADMA. And we're gonna start with Riot. Okay. Did Riot gap up? Technically not, but that's okay. Let's take a look. It opened up literally didn't gap up or down. It opened up at the same price to the penny in which it closed at, which was anyway. Um, so you're moving up here, right? And I'm just gonna make one more correction to the rule. I'm gonna add the VWAP, by the way. Okay, gonna add the VWAP, right? I know we're tweaking as we're going. So here's here it shoots up, pulls back to the VWAP for the first time, then hits the exponential 8. Green takes red, it goes from 64.80 to 65.29. Now keep in mind, I don't really know. I don't really know how it looked like in real time on a riot. I wouldn't trade this shit. This is not my thing. I will admit that. That's okay. There's nothing, doesn't mean you shouldn't trade it, right? Shoots up, you get a chart reset, right? This is a 2-minute chart, just so we're clear. Shoots up, gets a chart reset, everything resets. Comes down here, green takes red. This is a 70-cent move. Beautiful, right? But look over here. You got a little, not much of a chart reset here. Then you got this crap over here. This isn't really a trade over here. You might want to make an argument like it worked here anyway. I want to see the 21 hit at this point. And that happens right over here for the first time. Now look at what happens. Boom, chart reset. See that? So we were able to use the 8 and the 21. We did get a chart reset. Comes over here. Notice green does not take red. Green does not take red right over here on this candle for the first time. Does green take red on Riot? 66.96 to 67.50. The problem is a lot of you are taking every single green takes red. I am very guilty of that as well, but I'm not guilty of it because I don't mind doing it. It's okay for me. It's okay for others. Maybe it's not okay for you. And if it's not okay for you, what I'm doing is I'm trimming all the fat off of the brisket here. If I can't make Jewish culinary, Jewish cooking, terms here, like this isn't going to work for anyone, all right? I'm trimming the fat on the brisket, all right? You gotta feel me on this one, all right? Very fatty meat. All right, anyway. Um so you're trimming the fat, so you hit the 21 for the first time over here. This is the trade green takes red. Beautiful. Chart reset. Nice chart reset and everything, right? So chart reset comes back down here. Green takes red. Beautiful. Then you don't really have a full chart reset here on this green takes red. Even though it worked, it's not real. Look at the volume. It's not really there. Kelly, what do you mean? As long as there's cabbage, Kelly. You can't serve the meat with the brisket without the cabbage. Seriously, like, get me all worked up for nothing. All right, stock test the VWAP for the first time post reset here. Green takes red, you get a little scalp. Stock comes down, tests the 100 for the first time. Tests the 100 for the first time. You might want to argue that green tried to take red over here, but now we're just pulling at straws. The problem here is it's not working after 11. It was working better early. Okay. What would I do with my brisket? Depends what I'm cooking for. First of all, I would use I can't give you my secrets yet. We're gonna have to have a cook beat class for that one. All right. So that's Riot. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, my wife is making cabbage and corned beef for St. Patty's Day. There we go. Celebrate all the holidays. Love all cultures. Love all food. Um. Ooh. Oof, Mark. Whew, that sounds hot. That sounds hot. No soda bread. So that's a good. Do you guys get it? That's a good idea on Riot. Okay. I just want to do the first 8 and 21. I'm not even going to focus on the chart resets for the sakes of time, okay? Space, you gapped up, you gapped up. You're not above the first 2-minute high here. Green takes red wasn't good on the 8, but green takes red on the 21 was great, okay? On space. Notice you are breaking you are breaking rule number 2. I'm not maybe that's the right thing to do. We'll see. But you get the picture that it does work on the 21. So one thing now that Riot and Space have in common is the first 2-minute test of the 21 was huge. Look at that move in Riot off the 2-minute 21 for the first time. Huge, right? Going back to Space, first move off the 2-minute 21. I mean, you'd have to hold it, but that bottomed out the entire stock. I mean, that was beautiful, whether you are male or female, right? Sigma Labs. Big gap up, comes all the way down. Look at that. Hits the 8, hits the VWAP right over here after whatever, after pulling back. Let's focus on the 8. I could see it worked on the VWAP really well, by the way. It popped like 54 cents. Look at this first test on the exponential 8. Notice green doesn't take red until here, until it breaks 739. Stock explodes and breaks it. You can scalp that. I can scalp that. Stock comes down here, hits the 21, breaks up here. Not as violent as an up move as before, but 11. I know 11 cents doesn't sound like a lot. We're dealing with a $6.50 name at the time, so a 2% move it would be the equivalency of like it would be like the equivalency of a Tesla, moving 14 points on a 2-minute bar, just so we're clear. But these are the name. Like I wouldn't trade the SGLB, but I definitely want to show you what's happening here. Facebook, beautiful gap up. You see, like the 21 was hit early, so technically the first green takes because it was hit on this first bar over here. I see that here, how the blue and the tail goes all the way down there. See that? Green takes red was literally buying through day highs and watching the stock explode. That was the first 8, the first 21. Period. That's it. We're talking only the first we're being I don't want to keep breaking every rule. We're talking the first touch of these levels, okay? The first touch. I'm not even, if you're struggling, I don't even want you to use the chart reset part. Let's just focus on the first touch. Make your life easier. Yes, I could see it worked afterwards. I'm not cherry picking my words. But I want to make it easy. Boeing. Here is the first green takes red. This was tradable here. Off the 8 and 21. It was the same thing because it hit the 8 and sunk right over here. Comes all the way down here. Hits the 55 for the first time right over here. Hits the 100 for the first time right over here. Here's the first 2-minute green takes right after hitting that. 269.50 to 271.25. Big, juicy moves. How beautiful is Boeing? This is a name I would trade. This is a name I would trade. So, do you guys like this so far? Do you guys see what I'm saying? You get the picture. If you're able to do it the first time, I think you have the highest chance of success. DraftKings. I can't know. I mean, this is just a huge gap down. I mean, you gap down almost 3 points. It wasn't even flat. No, I'm not even going to go over it. You want to look at shorting it. It would have worked to the short side over here as you go up through the 21. The first Red takes green was over here through 70.81, and you got a little, but we're not going through that today. So I'm actually just going to ignore DraftKings because it gapped down 3 points. Tilray, all right, it gapped up. It started, you know, it gapped down. No, don't want these gap downs. Sorry. Sorry. No. Tesla. See, Tesla gapped up 16 cents. Tesla gapped up 16 cents. So you can make an argument down here or whatever, but again, I don't mind removing this part of it. You have to gap up and trade above the first 2 minute high, but a lot of times this rule number 2 can be broken, you know. And don't get me wrong, like I could see after you chart reset, you hit the exponential 8 for the first time and green takes red was gorgeous because this is a 3.5 point move through the trigger, which could have been 4 or 5 point moves on a front run. And it worked beautifully. And here's another green takes red here with a nice little pop for the first time on the 21. It worked over here. Don't get me wrong. It didn't work over here. Didn't work over there. Okay. No, I mean, for this, for what I'm explaining, no. In general, sure, why not? Home Depot, that's a nice gap up. Let's see how this worked. So, nice gap up. We hit the exponential 8 right over here on the 2 minute for the first time. Look at that. Bang. 47-cent pop. And keep in mind, these bars aren't that huge. So, work nice there on the 8. Here's the 21. Green takes red right over here. Gives you a little pop. Little pop. Okay. Let's see if you hit the 55. Here's the first hit of the 55. Green takes red over here. Beautiful. Now let's see if it hit the 2 minute exponential 100. And it did right over here for the first time. Hits the exponential 100 right over here. Let's see when green takes red for the first time right over here. 278.34. Goes up a little. I mean, just keep in mind these bars are like, this bar is 11 cents long right over here. So again, not a name I would trade for that reason. I would consider trading common stock on a setup like this. But here you go. You could clearly see it working. Okay. Vuzix, I think they reported, right? Did they? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, to Vuzix. Did you gap up in Vuzix today? Nope, you gap down, so I'm not going to go over it. Jack in the Box, you gapped up. Okay, good. Gap up. Here's the first test of VWAP. Green takes red over here. Not much, little. Here's the exponential 8 test for the first time. Green takes red over 107.87. Pop. Here's the 21. Green takes red over here. The high of 108.38 was broken right over here to 108.74. Self-admittedly, not a name I'm going to trade. You might say, well, what's 40 cents? Don't trade F and Jack in the Box. And more importantly, don't eat at Jack in the Box. You know, what do I want you to tell you? Jack in the Box food sucks, Mark. So does the stock. Don't trade it or eat it. Oh, I never thought of that. All right. Right over here, we have the first test of the 55. Green takes red and gives you a little pop. Again, keep in mind this bar is 18 cents long. That's why I don't trade it. But I want to show you how it works. That's the important thing to demonstrate the theory. So the 55 works. Did you hit the exponential 100, the pink line on my chart? Yes, right over here for the first time you broke it. This is interesting here because even though you want to say, all right, the green takes red here is good, Sort of failed over here because it blipped it by 3 cents and pulled back. Again, this is a 26-cent bar on a $100 name. That's what it is. Now, you want to be more of a pain in the ass, you'll bring up Sundial because this stock has 3, 2, and 3 cent bars. So basically, with something like this, you'd probably want to hold it longer. Here is the first test of the exponential 8. Green takes red above $1.50 right here, and it goes to $1.59, which doesn't happen right away. Here's the first test of the 21. Green takes red right over here, and it sort of just grinds up. But again, you're dealing with $1.50 name. Not what I'm looking to trade. Okay. Gap up on triple D. Slam the exponential 8. Green takes red right over here. That's a nice bar. Wait for the 21. 21 happens right over here for the first time. That's a nice bar. Now, you might look at this bar here. You might be saying, well, the high of this bar here, Mark, is 33.13, while the high of this bar is 33.22. That's only a 9-cent move through the trigger. But who on earth told you that you were supposed to buy through the trigger? On a setup like this where the stock opens up down here at 32.85 and starts running up towards $33, I'm buying this thing before $33 breaks. Just knowing how I trade to front run it. But it works. You understand? Um, that's triple D. XPEV. Yeah, this name gapped up, took a massive dump, and didn't really do much on the green takes red. But again, not a name I would trade. See, to me, don't be hell bent. Be open. Look at this and say, use the mentality. This is an important example here, and I'm happy I'm looking at this one. Because if you look at a 2-minute bar and you see this huge red piece of crap, and you have to think to yourself, maybe I want to ignore this. I'm serious. And yeah, I'm talking hindsight because I could see what the trigger did. I also know you're not above the first 2-minute high. Fine. But when you see something like this, is that what you really want to buy? I like this a lot more. I like Boeing a lot more. You had a strong bar. You had a little bit of a lower volume pullback. Green takes red, gives you a nice little scalp. I like that. I like this. I like this. Facebook, you have a big green bar, pull back a little, green takes red through day highs, and it works. You feel me? But when you look at this, you have to just think in your mind that you don't want your first bar to look like a piece of crap. Like, you feel me? Like, you want to look at it and say, you know what? Maybe if you're looking at XBEV and you're wondering in your head, what's the weakest in the world this 2-minute bar could look like? And you're like, oh, that's about right, give or take a little. That's probably something you should say, you know what? I'm going to just back off a little bit on this one. Feel me? Just a little bit. Those are the examples. Going back through some of them, Riot was strong early. This probably could have been a name to size up in. Space was not strong early. That's probably a name I wouldn't be too. What do I mean by early? Look at the first 2-minute bar. It looks like shit. That's what I mean. So watch this example here. Riot, strong first 2-minute bar. Space, shitty looking 2-minute bar. SGLB, strong 2-minute bar. Boom. On the first one we're talking, right? Facebook, strong first 2-minute bar. Boom. Boeing, strong first 2-minute bar, even though it pulled back. And let's look at the examples that gap down. Yeah, no, you can't gap down heavy. I don't like that because then the moving averages are all screwed up. Tesla, first 2 minute bar, looked like shit. This is the first 2 minute bar right here in Tesla. Maybe that's why you should have ignored it. So maybe one of the rules are you should have a green first 2 minute bar off the gap up. That's something we could tweak. See, right now I'm using all your examples, and what I'm doing is I'm giving further statistical analysis and trying to point out why certain ones work better than others. That's what I'm doing now, if you weren't aware. Home Depot, first 2 minute bar look great. Boom, on the exponential 8 right over here. Gorgeous. Little move on the 21. Good. What does it have in common? This 2 minute bar does not look like shit. Jack in the Box, 2 minute bar looks good. Works. 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 Sundial, first 2 minute bar looks good. If you want to, I have nothing more to say. I'm going to pretend that stock doesn't exist. First 2 minute bar in Triple D, looks good. Hits the exponential 8, green takes red, boom. Hits the 21, green takes red, boom. Done. XPEV, first 2 minute bar looked like bloody murder. Bloody murder. And Rocket in your pocket, first 2 minute bar looked like shit. So let's see how it would have worked out. Here, exponential 8 is tested right over here. Green takes red right over here, and it moved up 14 cents and then started rallying. Not a fan of that. Really. Not. So, what I would add here is not only do you gap up, and I wouldn't highlight trading above the first 2 minute high anymore. I would say first 2 minute bar should close strong. And that's it. That's it. Do you have more examples? Give me a name. Shoot me a name that I didn't go over, that gapped up. Go for it. McDonald's. First 2 minute bar. Strong. After hits the exponential 8 here. Green takes red over here. Pops a little. 21 hits. Green takes red over here. Not too good. Not so great. I'd never trade this shit in a million years. But wow, was it strong if you just held it. From this perspective, I would have considered this a good loss. I would like that. Gotta evolve quickly. Square. First 2 minute bar looks good. I mean, it's not super good, but it closed stronger than weaker. Has a big tail, but it closed at the top end of the range. Exponential 8, 21, 55, and VWAP hit on the next candle. Look at this. Boom. Look at that. Shoots up, goes right through and more. Works. FUTU. First 2 minute bar looks like shit. Gapped up. Green takes red here. Could have been scalpable, don't get me wrong. I mean, it worked. I would ignore it. Wacky zoom. I mean, I could see it worked here. The first 2 minute bar didn't close strong, so I'd pass on it. The point is to not catch everything that would have worked. The point is to catch the things that would work. All right, here's a nice example. Look at this. Gaps up. Very strong 2 minute bar. Pulls down. Breaks day lows. Hits the 8. Hits the 21, 55, and 100 on this candle over here. Green takes red right over here through $15.15. Big candle. Big candle. Look at that. Big candle. Works. MGM. I thought the first 2 minute bar looked great. Strong, closed near the high. Pulls down to VWAP. Green takes red. Boom. Pulls down to the exponential 8. Green takes red for the first time right over here through 41.17. Boom. Hits the 21 here for the first time. Green takes red. Boom. And keep in mind, it opened up at the bottom and started just going up and up and up and up. Yeah, like you front run these things. You're not buying through the trigger and saying, "Oh, it's only like this much." I mean, you could say that almost every single time when you just see this. Like if the bar closed like this in MGM, you can make a very good argument that, all right, well, how much further up would the next candle be able to break this current candle at? That's the whole point of front running, because then the next candle looks like that. Then, whatever. Yeah, whatever. It goes up even more after. Maybe you swing off that point. I don't know. You brought up MGM. What else are you bringing up? Saber. Strong first 2 minute bar. Nothing I would ever go near with. Um, hits the exponential 8 and VWAP. The 21 and 8 first test green takes red was right over here. Again, not a name that I would scalp because this thing has, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cent bars. That's why I wouldn't trade this one, but it worked. Went over Boeing already. OCG. First 2 minute bar was nice. Look at that. First 2 minute bar, and then of course, afterwards we know what happened. So here's the first 2 minute bar from the morning. Comes down here. Green takes red off the exponential 8. Boom. Look at that. It's the 21 for the first time over here. Green takes red. Technically, green took red right over here because it shot through 451, pulled back to 448. So if you front run 451 and it goes down to 448, what are you down? 0, 1, 2 cents. But again, then it explodes up afterwards. Not bad. Hits the 55 here for the first time. Green takes red right over there. 5 cents on a $4.50 name, no matter how you want to slice it, is over a 1% move. But again, this is the name you chose. Then if you went ahead and you went along with the chart reset when the volume came in today, I'll use this one as an example because it got a clear volume elevation here. You have a green takes red right over here. Boom, works. Green takes red right over here off the 21 through 530. Not much of a move there. Again, I'm not looking to do this with, I'm not looking, to trade a $5 name at this point using this strategy, but doesn't mean you're not, right? Akamai. I like this because you have a strong 2 minute bar. Let's see if it worked or failed. You hit the exponential 8 here for the first time. Little pop. Worked. And again, I'm not claiming there's a lot of money to make because if the bar is 10 or 15 cents long, or 20 cents or 18 cents or 19 cents long, there's just not a lot of money to make, period. Hits the 21 here, goes through a little, is what it is. Again, most of these names I think look like shit to me. ANVS, but they're good to use as examples. Um, yeah, when you have a 2 minute bar that has 500 shares traded, I don't know. I'm making an assumption too that the stock has a decent amount of volume, and I know this stock had good volume today, but good volume for a novice today is still 430,000 shares, and it's a very, very bullish setup, by the way. Gapping up after hours, like very strong name. I wouldn't look to scalp it on the 2 minute chart. No, right is not above the first 2 minute high, so this is the new process. This is my new thing. This is how it works now after tweaking it. Remember, as I freely admitted, I'm doing the strategy in real time. This is how strategies are invented. You could still do the 2 or 3. This is made really for people who are struggling or those who want potentially more conviction on some of the 2-minute setups. Did I not post the algo levels? Could tweet them. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? What do you guys think of it? Tell me your thoughts. We just went over, I tweaked the theory. This is where the theory is right now. What do you think? I think this is how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to size up a little on the setups that look like this. Am I going to ignore the 3 red bars, Josh? No. Or the 2 red bars? No. I'm not. But if you are struggling with the strategy, I'd rather give you something that has a higher success rate. At least for names like I would trade out of the names you guys gave, I would do the Facebook, I would do the Boeing, I'd do the Tesla, even though Tesla didn't set up properly, and that's it. Like personally, that would be all I would do. Maybe DraftKings, but doubtful. So Kelly, you like them when they're all, and when you say moving averages are compressed, which moving averages are you referring to? The 21 and 200 when they're near each other, you're saying? Can you give one example of that today? And is it a simple 200 or an exponential 200? Okay, simple. Okay, good. And the 21 is exponential or simple? All right, good. So I have it the same way. All right. NVIDIA today. Open. I think I'm missing something. Like, how close does the 200 have to be? Oh, at the open. Oh. Oh. Yeah, they were close at the open. Interesting. I like that, Kelly. So Kelly is saying at the open, if the 2-minute and exponential 21 and simple 200 are close to each other, you get those boom type moves. Oh, that's Friday. Oh, no, this is Monday. This is the 15th. No, I mean, the new rules again are this. This is the only rules here. Yes, I tweaked them. That's okay. So what if I tried it at 9:38 on NVIDIA? Personally, no, because this first 2-minute bar was red. Oh, would Kelly have? Maybe. It's a good question. I don't know. It would have not worked the first time and then worked amazingly well the second time. Yeah, I mean, of course, Hope. You want good volume and you want, yeah, of course. So like a Nvidia is fine, a Facebook is fine, a Boeing is fine, a Tesla's fine. You don't want names that are like Sundial because you don't want to scalp a Sundial. I mean, you could find better names to scalp than a Sundial, I feel. It just doesn't move enough. Stock you. Exactly, Baxter. I like that. A stock you could bring home to your parents. That's exactly it. I like the 1 minutes very early on. Boof. I still do. Um, Pretty much you want to use the 2 minute after the first exponential eight hits for me, little cash. Like you want to start looking for that 2 minute exponential eight at like before it hits or as it's getting close. It's pretty much when for me. I'm doing mostly options with this. All of the above source. Any questions? Any other questions you guys have? It's hard to say, Boo. Some people, yes, I'm sure. You gotta click each one, as far as I know, J. It's a good question, Mitchell. I haven't. Why is it working? Trading does not have to be that difficult. A lot of times when traders make trading so difficult, there's just too many things going on where they just can't do anything about it. So I feel if we all work together, we talk together, we figure it out together, we'll have the best chance of success. Okay. All right. So, looks like that's it. Let's just absorb that. You guys are more than welcome to continue speaking about it. Do I like? I haven't tried it yet, Boof, so I don't know. Yep. Is the bar that hits the moving average? No. DRAM buoy. Doesn't matter what color it closes at. Irrelevant. All right. A lot of traders use 2 minute. It's a very popular time frame. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy trading, make money. See you guys tomorrow morning. The Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Hopefully, we'll have Ponytail, Geronimo, our chief CNBC officer, chief rotational officer. We'll have chief Picardian officer, chief S3 officer, chief crowd officer. 12 to 1, Milan. I don't know if he's portable.